Welcome, everyone, to the Puff Drink Talk podcast. Konrad here.
Hilton here.
George.
And thank you for joining us on a wet, drizzly, rainy Sunday morning.
It is raining out there.
It has just been every day now for until what, Thursday, Friday?
Something like that, yeah.
God, every day here in Austin, Texas. We've got some weather. La Nina is out. El Nino is in. Or is it the opposite? I can't keep my people straight anymore, weather systems. But yeah, so now we've got some wet weather. That's just...
Shout out to everyone who went to Kept 10K this morning in Austin.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
So cloudy and, muggy. I don't know how cold it was when they started running this morning. So I've done once myself, the Kept 10K.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I'm nice and dry. I'm dry.
Yes.
And smoking a cigar and having a great coffee.
And best of all, great company.
We are going to have great conversation with the great company that we have. So, yeah, I don't really care for the rain right now.
Yeah.
But it is wet out there.
Let the rain outside, right?
Leave it out there.
Yes.
We're nice.
Man, what a good coffee this is.
We can pretend it all the time.
George, what coffee is this? You don't mind spilling your secrets?
No, it's fine. It's a Killer. It's a single origin from Ethiopia. It's our day-to-day coffee. We were lucky to figure it out right when you get here to Austin, the best specialty coffee place in Austin. They closed 6 months after we got in here, but we got the supplier's contact, so we buy 10 pounds a month
Directly from the supplier?
Yes, which is because it's in
that's
bulk.
nice.
Because it's in bulk, and because it's we've been buying for such a long time. Like it's part of a subscription, and we buy specific dates. We pay probably 60% of the the real price, so the suggested price. So it is a good deal for us. We can have a 8 out of 10 coffee in our day to day, which is really rare because those coffee beans are expensive, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I had the opportunity we went to Hot Springs in Arkansas, and one of the best brewers in the world is from that region. I know Onyx. I know that because I follow a couple competitions, and the coffees are always there. So yeah, Arkansas has one of the best roasters and brewers in the world, which is absolutely unexpected. So if you're driving by Hot Springs, check it out. Collective
We cannot let that happen. Texas has to be always the best. And no Texans in the room.
And to be honest, yesterday, 2 nights ago, I saw that Lamppost, which is original from Georgetown and Round Rock. Now they are spread out in Texas. Shout out to Lamppost. Now they were in San Diego joining this international coffee competition. And they have, for sure, in terms of, I would say in terms of variety and quality, they are probably top 5 in the U.S. I would say that their specialty coffee, it's even better than Onyx. It's here. It's just like 5 miles from my place. I feel so blessed with this, because I know that in 5 miles I have one of the best cup of coffees, cup of Joe, in the world, which is amazing. Having that in Austin.
So they competed in a coffee competition in
San
Diego?
They do. They're doing now. I saw that they're doing cupping. Like the cupping. Basically, they put the beans.
Microphone.
Oh yeah, they put the beans right, and they serve the coffee. So everybody smells the coffee. Check what it is. Then later you test it. So that those are the cuppings, right? One of the meanings for cuppings, I know there are several, but one of the meanings is this. It's like cup tasting. Right. So they had great places in Austin.
We have a Lamppost 2 minutes from here.
Yes, that's true.
And that's one of the places I go the most because people pick that location for meetings with me because I have that on my calendar. There is a lamppost downtown Round Rock. There is a
Exactly.
lamppost now in Huddle.
True.
Those three is the ones that I know
Yeah,
of.
Austin, Georgetown. Yeah, they are all over the place now. When I met one of the owners, they only had 2 stores, one in Georgetown and one in the first one in Lamppost, the one you go, near Sprouts. I think there's a
Yeah.
one there.
It's no, it's on the other retail park on the behind the high school.
Yeah, exactly. Where the high school. All right. Yeah.
Downtown Round Rock.
I
No,
took
on 620.
Oh,
I took my driving class and my my license
Yeah,
there.
that driving
Yeah.
center over there is actually much better than going to
It
to
is.
the DMV
It is. It's-
because you got it done so quick. That's what I did mine. That's what I recommend everybody to go. And then they go over there. They do it over there.
Of course,
And-
it's $75 instead of $25 that you can take it if you go straight to DMV.
Yeah.
Also, the test I did, you know how it's funny how I took this. Instead of studying for the exam, I took this online material that it's 8 hour long. So I went from 11 a.m. to
Microphone,
11
go.
p.m. to 7 a.m. cleaning the house and studying whatever
And
listen to that and you have to take it like 3 or 4 times sometimes because they ask you, okay, what was the color of the woman's dress?
Oh
And
yeah.
then you have to go, just to check if you're watching.
then you have-
So I had to go back and
you
then.
have to go
But
and
I
watch.
promise, I passed. I got all of them correct. But look at that, I finished at 7. Just wait. The driving school opened.
Yeah.
I took the test. 8:30. I already had my license.
Oh, how cool is
Yeah.
that?
So-
And mine was like that also, but I did watch
The whole night.
Yeah. I did have to do the watching the videos and stuff. I sat down and I did it over here.
Yeah.
It's been a long time though. Since
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah. So in all.
Been a long time. Been
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
Sorry, let's
It's been a long time since I've seen you, my friend. Right?
Yeah.
I don't have the voice, but I have the rhythm. I know.
No, you have the voice.
Yeah. Okay. I tried it.
Because every
You're your
voice is
biggest
different.
Simon Cowell. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let me turn this baby on.
Gonna get George and the Americans Got Talent.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah. Ask me anything. I will answer it.
Man, I was just checking my pictures again for the trip. My goodness. Man, it's when you drive by car like this, it's a journey. It's more about the journey than getting there. When you go to the airplane, when you go to buy airplane, I don't know. It seems like your goal is just that city and that's it. And
It's
I
the
love it.
destination.
I love it. I love it. Like I knew that Nashville was the final destination, but having to drive through, not me because I didn't drive, right? The situation. Tamidis is driving and my friend was driving, but I was able to enjoy much more, right? I was able to enjoy much more
Uh-huh.
because I didn't need to. I didn't need to drive, right? And it just
When you're not driving, you can see more, like the nature. You can see the,
you
the
pay
places.
attention. You pay attention to details that you wouldn't if you're driving.
Yeah, you may not remember how to get, to those points, to those places because you're not driving, so you're not paying attention. Like, I gotta turn left over here, right over there, but you see more. It's funny because you see more, but you keep less of the route itself.
Right.
So it's like I don't know how we got to that location, but you saw building such and such. You saw
Wild animals.
wild animals.
Yeah.
You saw mountains. You saw you saw everything. But you go like, I'm not sure if you're going north or east or west or south because you're on the passenger seat, so
Yeah.
you don't see that. But you see much more. You enjoy more.
But I understand. I'm also everywhere I go, I'm self-conscious the whole time. So I kind of don't disconnect. So during the trip, I was always looking at the GPS, because Tamidis is driving or my friend is driving. I'm always the biggest guy, so I'm always sitting up front. I think if you are in the back, I think
Oh, and
it's
then
easier.
you're completely disconnected
Exactly.
from the route. Yeah.
Exactly. But but when you see it, I kind of want to interact. Like part of my safety protocol or something. Being always aware of the co-pilot's function and duty. What do you
Yeah.
think?
No, I think the same thing. I was just remembering when you were talking about being in the back seat. I had a Toyota FJ Cruiser, and the back seat they were like the suicide half doors to open up, and the window was this big to look out on the side. So if you were in the back seat, literally your view of what was happening was just this little box right here. If you sat up in the front seat and the driver and the passenger, you had a window that was this big because the front door was
Sure.
ginormous. But the passenger
true,
door and
true.
window was just this little thing.
Can
And
you Google that car? So I don't know. But
Honestly,
that is interesting.
I really regret selling that car, especially after COVID. I could have sold this thing for. This
No,
was-
I know which one it is.
Yeah, I had the white on white. This was exactly mine right here.
White. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Except I blacked out all of this stuff, so it was just white on black.
Yeah,
It just screams road. It screams adventure. It screams like, okay, let me do something with that. Like.
Well, I would take it off road all the time. It was a phenomenal off roader. I went in some places that Jeeps couldn't, or
it's ugly though.
oh, it definitely is ugly.
It's very ugly.
But it's my
I
ugly,
gotta-
my kind of
exactly.
ugly. Like,
But it's
It
cool.
was mine.
It's an ugly cool.
When I was, that's what I had when I was in the Marine Corps, and of course, going surfing at the beach down in San Diego. You throw your surfboards up top, you throw your wetsuit in the back. Everything is plastic, and you just hose it down, so you can just destroy the interior. It wasn't. It's more for off road than putting your family inside.
yeah, but actually your car now offers 90% of the, of this feeling, and not 90% of the feeling you had there, because you can still go by yourself and get dirty and everything, but it still can drive your whole family.
It was the best single car. When you're single, that's the best. You want to go off road, you want to go up in the mountains and go camping and hiking, done. You want to go strap a surfboard on the top and go surfing, done. It would just handle all of that. I remember there was this one time my buddy, I took him to go get his laundry done, and I'm sitting in the parking lot. I had the windows down, and I had a great stereo system in there where it would like shake the whole car, like it was loud.
It was a thing in the past, wasn't
Yeah.
it? It
Oh,
was a
yeah.
thing.
Where you would just sit there and just bump music. So I'm in there, I'm just bumping music, and this homeless guy walks up, and he goes, "Hey, what kind of car is that?" And I go, "Oh, it's a Toyota FJ Cruiser." And he goes, "How much you pay for that thing?" And I go, "Oh, it was about $20,000, at that time." I was like, "Yeah, it's $20,000." He goes, "You paid that much for that piece of shit?" And then he just walked away. I just started laughing. I was like, what the hell just happened? This guy just dissed me for my car and then just kept walking away.
Is
And then you
it
mentioned
what
the
we are
homeless
doing
guy?
nowadays?
It was, yeah.
Is it what we are doing nowadays? You know?
Yeah. How much did you pay for that piece of shit?
That's funny. And he does not have a car.
Yeah.
Or
He's
a house.
pushing a cart. He
Or
was
a
pushing
house,
his-
and he was bullshitting your car.
He was pushing his little Target cart.
Oh man.
Paid that much for this piece of shit.
Maybe that's why the guy had the little, one or maybe 10 screws less in his brain or something.
Yeah, no.
Things are not wired correctly.
He was a character for a homeless guy. Wonder where he is.
That's pretty cool. Is that the best car you ever had, or considering all categories in a car?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I'll say that was probably the most fun I ever had in a car.
But what is if you'd put like the best car that I had that I could do whatever I wanted? What would
Probably my truck right now.
your truck right now?
Yeah, I love my truck right now. Spacious, it hauls everything. Hey, we gotta It's big enough for the whole family to fit inside. This thing actually, my FJ Cruiser got worse gas mileage. I had the 6-speed manual in it, and it averaged about 9 to 11 miles per gallon. I'd have to fill it up.
That's unbelievable. Because normally a manual car saves more gas.
Yes. And that was one of the other reasons why I got rid of it. One, having a family, and like car seats weren't fitting in the back seat anymore, and it just was starting to become uncomfortable. Two, I mean, it was a great anti-theft device having a manual, because should I leave the keys in it, someone go up to steal it, and they're like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do driving this thing.
I can't
drive
the
this.
stick.
Yeah. But no, and just gas. I'd have to fill up like twice a week. And especially when gas was getting expensive, and it's not a small gas tank, so I was still putting in like $30-40 a week, or per stop.
Back in?
Yeah.
Back in which year?
Well, shit. Well, when I bought it, this was Obama was president, and then when we came out here, gas was a lot cheaper. But I mean, in California, gas was $4 or $5 a gallon.
I remember you having that car.
Yeah.
I saw it when I went to your apartment the first time.
Yes.
You
yeah,
had
that was
it
mine.
parked. Yeah, you had it parked in there, and then I think we went to pick up something that I don't remember what it was, but I saw the car. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was a good car. I've had lots of good cars.
It feels like such a long time ago.
And it's one of those things where I traded it in for a Kia, one of those Kia 4-door sedan cars. And I was just so uncomfortable driving it, and I had just paid this off, and I traded it in, and, you know, going from no car payment to $100 a month car payment or whatever. But I was like, God damn it, like if I just kept this thing, because they last well over 200,000 miles.
The time.
Oh.
Yeah, we are 17 minutes.
And I was going to say, if I would have held on to this, obviously nobody expected COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But when COVID happened, these cars, so I think when I sold it to, or traded in at CarMax for like 15 grand. I was like, cool, I only lost 5 grand. I bought it for 20, I traded in for 15. But after COVID, those things were selling for like 50 or 60,000. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like I had a big I had a pretty good, decent investment if I would have held on to that car. So,
But man, we never know.
You never know.
You know what I'm saying?
You never
Like,
know. It's one of those coulda, woulda, shouldas. If you had it, you would have made an extra penny. But.
And also, like, if you live long enough to know a few things. For example, right, inflation back in the end of the 70s was 13-14%. During Reagan's first years, also it was pretty high. Then it started going down, right? At that time, if you buy a house for a 30-year loan, that would be 14%, right? Now you get to like us, we got like 2% in our house.
5, yeah.
If I had the cash and I had the knowledge, I would have purchased more houses. I would know. But now you have to sell fast because the market. You know that the market goes up fast. It's gonna go down fast soon. You're gonna suffer in the first crisis. That's what it's happening with the real estate in Austin, right? Mm-hmm. Both rent and purchasing, right? So. If I have the cash and I have the knowledge, of course, then you make the best decision. So I'm just like
that's why
just saying the basics here.
That's why people talk about traveling through time, right? And then like going back and then making the financial decisions, because that's the only thing that people normally regret. Like, I should have bought more real estate, or I should have kept such and such, or I should have done these and that. But not about whatever they experience in life. It's just the financial decisions that we would like to go back and say, hey, I know that in 2020, I got to buy 150 houses because in 2021, I can sell all of them and never have to work again in my life.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And look, you don't have to travel in time to figure a few things out, cities, they have different ages, right? So if you think that the city of Chicago, for example, is losing population for over 80 years. The population have been decreasing. Of course, the suburbs increased. There is a compensation there, but it's still, like, look at how many cities actually surpassed Texas, Chicago as in terms of population.
Oh yeah.
Right, many cities, especially California. So I saw it, like the past 200 years, how the population, American population grew, and it's fine. California and Florida weren't top 15 150 years ago.
Yeah.
Ohio was the third.
Well, there wasn't the infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly. Once it got there, it grew really fast. That's what's happening with Texas. I was discussing with one of my clients this week. In order to have the same density of Germany, Texas would have to need 120 million people today. I'm going to repeat that. In order to get to,
I'm sorry, more people?
No. In total population,
Okay.
the population of if the population of Texas were, to be the same density, population inside of the same area of Germany, Texas would need 100 million people. We have 30 million. We have 31 million people now. Texas can quadruple, and we still look just like.
Well, if Texas, 30, you said 30, so if
31 million today.
31 million. So UK is 65 million. So it could double to be the size of the whole country of UK.
But that's what I'm saying.
But Texas, I think, is bigger, right? The state of Texas
But that's what I'm saying. We're comparing apples to apples. Then when you think about density, you consider total population and density population.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you consider both. So what I'm saying is that Texas is today, the population of Texas is 31 million, and the population of Germany is 85 million. So they are 2.7 times bigger, but they are twice as smaller.
Yeah, okay.
They are twice as smaller if you compare.
To be as dense. So we have a lot of opportunity to grow.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
that's what I mean. It's
that's my man. Exactly. Another point is if you go
images.
If you go to a GPT or Gemini, they will create a table for us.
Yeah.
Like you can argue, but you have more accidented areas, like uninhabitable areas in Texas than you have in Germany. But don't forget, they have the Black Forest there. They also have their protected areas, right? Mm-hmm. So Texas has the opportunity to grow, man, to get to 100 million easily. Think about that. With 30 million people, Texas is the 8th biggest economy in the world. Okay, with 30 million people, where would Texas get when it gets to 120 million? It's going to be the number 2 and number 3.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Just some stats that
Basically, so I was. I remember taking this class, and there was this one hippie guy in there, and he was like, "I'm gonna go buy a farm because we're all gonna run out of space and food and water, and there's not.
23 minutes.
We don't have enough. We don't have enough resources here pretty soon." And I always thought it was kind of interesting for him to say. So I just looked up. There's 350 million people here in the United States, and Texas has 171 million acres. So basically, you could give almost 2/3 of the population of the United States 1 acre of land, and that would be able to fill up the whole state of Texas. We still have 49 other states, and Texas is the second smallest compared to Alaska. So space in the United States
is vast.
Yeah, there's a lot of area that you can put like 3 cows and grow a pumpkin or 2 and eat that for the rest of your life. So don't give me that shit we're running out of food and water and all this other nonsense.
But my problem is different. It's a different one in America. Look, you got to keep growing. To keep the system the way it is, the way it's built, you have to keep growing. right? And how are you going to grow? I mean, this is a conversation for a different podcast, Hilton,
Yeah.
right?
Well, let's wrap this one up.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us in all of our nonsense talk and just
Yeah, I
catching
love that.
up and
I love that. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
spitballing
Man.
ideas and throwing out there. I hope it inspires you to have a conversation with some of your friends.
Man, I blinked and it was over.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what was George's best and mine, but we do that on another opportunity.
Let's do that on the next podcast.
Yeah.
Let's talk that on the next one. Thank you very much for joining us on a wet Sunday morning. Stay dry, stay warm. Love, peace, chicken grease. Goodbye.